power. For sheer power, nothing can compare to the thunderous, ground-pounding excitement of NTPA Grand National Tractor and Truck Pulling. It's the main attraction is the most powerful machines on any track with up to 9,000 horsepower churn up the smoke and dirt, straining against the odds that makes for one of the most competitive, crowd-pleasing spectacles in all of motorsport. It's the allure of a tremendously successful, uniquely American, homegrown sporting event, whose roots are firmly planted in our tradition of competition and our quest to be the best. It's all this power that pulls over 3 million spectators annually to witness some 3,000 competitors battling it out for the richest purses in the sport. But the real power behind tractor and truck pulling and the reason for its unprecedented growth and popularity is the National Tractor Pullers Association, the NTPA. The NTPA is the premier sanctioning body of the sport of professional pulling. Celebrating its most successful season to date, the NTPA offers fans, drivers, promoters, and sponsors alike the best in professional tractor and truck pulling. Under the direction of the NTPA, tractor and truck pulling has grown from a friendly challenge among neighbors to see whose field tractor was the strongest into an international organization that sanctions and oversees some 500 events on the local, regional, and national levels. Founded in 1970, the NTPA's member competitors have worked to establish national rules governing competition and safety. And in the process, they have organized themselves into the most prestigious pulling sanctioning body in the world. But over the years, the basic ingredients of pulling have remained the same. Hook up a powerful pulling machine to an increasingly weighted sled. Give it all the power you can muster and see how far you can make it down a 300-foot track. If a driver can make the distance, that's a full pull. And if more than one driver can accomplish the feat, it sets up a dramatic pull-off. An exciting, crowd-pleasing competition that usually brings the cheering fans to their feet. Now add to this basic formula professional competitors piloting supercharged vehicles, vying for cash purses of over $100,000 at certain national events, and mix in upwards of 80,000 screaming fans rooting for their favorite driver, and you can begin to get a sense of the real power of pulling. And today's big crowds love the fast-paced action of professional NTPA-style tractor and truck pulling more than ever before, as witnessed by an incredible 30% increase in attendance last year at the premier events on the tour, the Grand National Pulling Circuit. One of the reasons for this amazing growth is the NTPA's insistence on producing an exciting event the fans want to see. The top professional drivers competing in a variety of classes and types of vehicles. The biggest names in the sport of pulling, like the legendary Banter brothers, Tim England, the Brockman family, and other competitive teams who have made pulling their primary profession, attack the 300-foot track at every event on the circuit. And the vehicles they drive offer the fans a wide assortment of powerful, loud, dirt-kicking excitement like the huge super stock tractors, the Pro Stock, which resembles today's working tractors, the modified, with their wild configurations of 5 and 6 supercharged engines, and the tremendously popular 2- and 4-wheel drive trucks, the working vehicles that most fans can easily identify with, plus the totally unpredictable mini tractors, all offering the fan, the promoter, and the sponsors the best possible show. Recently, the NTPA commissioned an independent survey to try and paint a picture of the average pulling fan, and the statistics gathered prove what had already been suspected. Tractor and truck pulling fans are a marketer's dream. A strong, consuming population, predominantly male, pulling fans are dedicated to the sport and attend an average of 3 events per season. They are are young, with a heavy concentration in the all-important 18 to 34-year-old bracket. They are a well-educated, hard-working group who take pride in owning their own homes and vehicles. A number of other important statistics were generated by the survey, and they all add up to one thing. NTPA Pulling attracts a classic American consuming audience who thrive on the exciting action and first-rate competition pulling provides. In terms of coverage, the NTPA blankets the country in a variety of competitive levels. The NTPA sanctions 60 events annually on 3 separate circuits: the regional circuit, the invitational circuit, and the Grand National Pulling Circuit. The regional circuit constitutes a more grassroots approach to pulling, allowing the choice drivers to compete for valuable season points on a close-to-home basis. The invitational circuit comprised the special event pull, where promoters, in conjunction with the NTPA, select the top pullers to square off in head-to-head action. And then there's the granddaddy of them all, the Grand National Pulling Circuit, pulling's richest circuit in the world. A 15 to 17 event series which attracts the world's best pullers. Over the years, these premier events have grown to become annual happenings, and names such as Bowling Green, the Ohio State Fair, and Tomah, Wisconsin have come to mean the most prestigious, competitive, exciting pulling events ever staged. Besides being the main power behind sanctioning, the NTPA is also the sport's largest promoter. Last year alone, well over $1 million was spent to promote the sport of tractor and truck pulling on television, radio, and print media. The NTPA also publishes the extremely popular and informative Puller magazine. This monthly magazine is the heartbeat of the sport of pulling and is distributed to a total of 12,000 avid pulling enthusiasts. Puller magazine is filled with news, features, previews, and highlights of pulling events and advertising targeted to the pulling audience. The NTPA also ensures that news of tractor and truck pulling is distributed to the masses through their extensive media coverage and ongoing PR campaigns promoting pulling. They consistently provide pre- and post-event coverage in press releases to over 500 selected press and media people across the country, as well as distributing video and audio tape, film clips, and releases to television and radio stations, taking advantage of all possible avenues for total media coverage. Recently, many popular consumer magazines, realizing the tremendous growth and popularity of pulling, have sprung up, devoted to covering the sport, as have other enthusiast publications. And last year, national television audiences were treated to a number of events showcased on both ESPN and the Nashville Network on their top-rated American Sports Cavalcade series. Just one more way that the exciting story of NTPA Championship Pulling is presented to the sports public. The NTPA also supports pulling in a number of other vital ways. They publish and sell their popular event programs to over 70,000 pulling fans each season. The NTPA also produces their annual rule book, which is updated every year to ensure the competition remains first-rate on the track. And they publish and distribute a media guide for the press. With so much going for NTPA-style professional pulling, it's no wonder sponsors and event promoters are eager to be a part of the activity. And it definitely proves to be a smart working relationship, because one reason for the NTPA's tremendous success is they really know how to treat sponsors and event promoters with a variety of programs custom tailored to meet their specific needs. Sponsors can participate in NTPA Championship Pulling in a number of marketing programs. On a national level, as a major sponsor, they can be involved at all 60 events. Major sponsors receive a number of added benefits, like choice advertising in the annual NTPA rule book, the yearly event programs, as well as coverage in Puller magazine. Plus, as major sponsors, they will receive special signage at all events, and their logos can be proudly displayed on all major competitors' uniforms as well as on all the vehicles. Aside from the major sponsorships, there are a number of other programs available to potential pulling sponsors. They can participate on a smaller scale by sponsoring individual circuit competition, either the regional, invitational, or Grand National Pulling events, or to really target an audience. Sponsors can pinpoint their marketing efforts on a single event or per event basis. Other ways sponsors can capitalize on the power of pulling is by sponsoring individual competitors on the circuit. With so much space available on these competitive machines, sponsors have plenty of billboard space to display their message. There are a number of other ways for sponsors to include tractor and truck pulling in their total marketing plans, like advertising in Puller Magazine, or for those performance manufacturers, sponsoring pulling through the contingency fund awarded to winning drivers who display and use particular products on their vehicle. Yet working together with the NTPA has proved to be a very profitable relationship for a number of major sponsors. And it's just one other way the NTPA can really pull for you. Event promoters know that behind the fun and excitement of tractor pulling is a lot of hard work. If you or your organization have ever thought about putting on a tractor pull, you should let the power of the NTPA work for you. The NTPA can turn a promoter's nightmare into a dream come true. When you produce an event sanctioned by the National Tractor Pulling Association, you're working with the premier sanctioning body in tractor pulling. The NTPA works with promoters in a number of different ways to keep tractor pulling at the heart of American motorsports. They make sure every NTPA-sanctioned event is successful for the fans, the pullers, and of course, the promoters. Many of the NTPA services offered to promoters are essential for first-time organizers or promoters of single events. But experienced promoters who do many successful events in a season seek to run NTPA-sanctioned events because they know they'll get professional help to put on a better show, and that means profit. When you're a part of the NTPA circuit, you're provided with exciting competition that's sure to draw a crowd. Big-name pullers run NTPA events, not only for the quality of competition, but to gain valuable points toward the prestigious NTPA Championship and end-of-season prize money. The NTPA provides logistical support to promoters, including qualified judges and entry officials, insurance packages featuring liability insurance for promoters, support equipment both large and small, including an impressive electronic scoreboard with message capability that can be used to attract local sponsors. Merchandising is important to the promoter of any event. The NTPA provides quality-produced programs and best-selling merchandise with a good return policy. Or as many promoters prefer, the NTPA can provide merchandise and vendors in a complete package. The NTPA works closely with sponsors of all kinds, which means they can provide promoters with help to procure a sponsor for even a single event. Advanced PR and advertising support is another way the NTPA helps event promoters, including video footage for use in television spots, media buying advice and assistance, logo design and graphics, pre-event flyers to the public, and much more. The NTPA will show you how to get lots of general press exposure for your event. You can count on lots of support from NTPA publications. First-time Grand National Pulling Circuit events are always the subject of a special feature story in Puller Magazine at least 2 months prior to the pull, as well as being covered in a minimum of 2 pages of post-event reporting. Naturally, the producer receives plenty of complimentary copy. Remember, great competitive action and great event support makes the NTPA the power in tractor and truck pulling.